round awaits. 2 courses, the lake and the hill, stand ready to test the spirit, the strategy, and the steel of our competitors. 3 days of grueling Ryder Cup-style match play lie ahead. But before a single ball is teed up, the true tactical war begins. Tonight, battle lines are drawn. Welcome to the live draft of a tournament unlike any other.
Hello and welcome to the hallowed halls of the Columbus Italian Club for this year, the 10-year anniversary of the DADDL Cup and the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft between Dominic Schneider, captain of the black team, and Carmine Catullo, captain of the white team. We have an exciting draft out for you guys tonight. 18 players are on the board. We'll be giving analysis, stats, updates as we go. But first, I want to introduce my 2 co-hosts tonight, Chris Lovell and Joe Fisher. Chris, we'll start with you. What are you most excited about this year's draft? And going into year 10, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, so this draft is interesting because, as everyone knows, over the last few years, Dom has won the match. And for the most part, I think a lot of guys probably thought or knew who he would draft first. And with Carmine, I mean, they had a battle this year. So Carmine pulling out the W, which was big, obviously. I think it creates a whole new wrinkle. Everyone from the Cup last year is in except Miguel. Who filled Miguel's spot? Corey, that's right. So we have Gorell back, which is obviously exciting. Corey's been an OG since the inception of the Cup. So it's nice to have Corey back. Miguel, you will be missed. So there's just a lot of things out there. You know, we have some high handicaps, we have some low handicaps, guys in the middle. This year is compared to last year, is a month earlier, so we're back in the August time frame. Last year was interesting because we did this draft 2 weeks ahead of time, and with it being in September, I feel like everyone was just like, all right, when are we gonna play?
Yeah.
You know, where this year it's like, oh shoot, it's here.
Yeah.
Like we're now next week we're playing golf.
I know,
so,
it always comes around so fast. And
yeah.
I think one thing I didn't mention that's exciting and an ode to the 10 years is I said Team White captain. So we're doing a little throwback to the original white versus black in year 10. Carmine switching to Team White. So excited to have that change up, do a little throwback tribute to the first ever DADDL Cup in 2017. Now to my left, Joey Fisher. Got some great swag started here. See a little sample of the hats. We got some more swag coming. Joey, what's your take on this year's draft and just overall tournament? Any changes you're liking or any people that you're keeping an eye on?
My take on the draft is I think we're in for a wild ride tonight. As Chris said before, you know, it was kind of predictable in the previous years with who was going to go what round and everything, but I think we're going to see some differences this year. I think Carmine had said first and foremost he wants to get some new blood on the team, so I think that's going to shake a lot of things up. I think it's going to make for an interesting draft. You're going to see some names go places that I didn't think you would see them, but I think we're going to be in for a good one.
Love it. Yeah, I love the unpredictable nature this year, just shaking things up a little bit. To segue into a little bit of changes that are happening this year, the first day doing the scramble, we are going to do blind pairings. So that's a new little thing. Blind matchups. Not pairings. Blind matchups. So as we typically do, Dom and co-captain, Carmine and co-captain, they strategize and throw out the first pairing. The opposing captain gives the matchup that they want to match. This time they're going to rank their pairings 1 through 5, write them on note cards, and then when it's the time to turn, they'll flip over card 1 and just see who's paired up. So really adding some randomness to that 9-hole scramble just to see how it plays out, but adding some more unpredictability, get some people playing with people they might not have played with before, and a different level of strategy than what we're used to. So excited for that. We will be playing white tees. There was a lot of deliberation on that one again. We're sticking with white tees. Any other changes, guys, that I missed? Anyone speak?
So white tees, no rule changes this year. We're sticking with the same rules. I know we sent out a survey to everyone, but we're going to stick with what we're doing, and then we'll talk after the year's done. Blind matchups you mentioned, and that's it.
Awesome. Well, let's get right to it. We got 18 guys waiting to be drafted. So we're going to introduce your captains here. First, we're going to start with the Team Black captain and the reigning champion, Dom.
14 deep, all black on fit, you guy wanna rock like this. 14K on the chain, Hellcat, and I'm paid, but I'm not that rich. Let the pawns on my dick, she cute, real thick, she my number one pick. Make rights right break, we ain't doing that trick. Don't play big guns, we ain't turning the switch. Yeah. Another main nigga just switch real quick. Shit getting hard, you ain't wanna commit. Buy up the rock, we ship out the break. Big K in the car, they tell me the tip. New bitch round game, getting hit off the break. 14 deep, all black on fit, you guy wanna rock like. Rock like black on fake, you guy wanna rock like that.
All right, Dom. 2026, year 10, reigning champion. Facing a little bit of adversity to start, lost the match, not in the number one pick seat. How are you approaching this year's draft? How have you been strategizing differently, knowing you're not going to be picking first? And what do you have looking forward to the players that are in the pool?
Yeah, so it's definitely been a different year. It's hard for me to remember the last time that I didn't have the first pick. So even though, it's just one pick, at least you know one person that's going to be on your team. It was nice to have that benefit in years past. I would already be talking to that person a month ahead of time.
We don't know who that person is.
Right. But it was a small advantage, right? Because you get to talk to somebody other than what I've done this year is talk to Lauren about it. And, she doesn't know this.
So you have a new advisor.
Like, hey Lauren, what if I got to draft this guy and this guy? What do you think? And then she'll be like, well,
Miguel's nice.
Nice. He listened to me back in high school. But no, so it's been different preparing, and it's interesting now. Like at the first pick, you could kind of control the draft a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just two guys. It's not a stake. So you're making a pick. They have to respond to it. And you can kind of control the draft. Now here in the second pick, I've realized I can't be doing all these mock drafts because I'm in like the defense position. I have to respond to Carmen's picks. So, basically what I've decided is, hey, get your power rankings figured out and then just respond and let the draft come to you.
Love it. That's great. I know it's definitely cool to hear how you shifted up the strategy. Sounds like you're going a little bit best player available, maybe. Still got to play the chemistry route. But thank you for your insights and how you're preparing, and look forward to seeing what picks we have coming up.
Yep.
With that, we'll get to our introduction of our Team White captain, Carmine Catullo, winner of the match, owner of the number one draft.
Silver screen and all its sad goodbye. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're.
All right, and Carmen, on the other side of the table this year, having the first draft pick, how has it been different for you having that little bit of advantage? First and foremost, congratulations on winning the match. It was, I tell you, I was really excited between the World Cup final I was watching and then keeping track of the match. And it started to look pretty bad up to start. But then you came back and there was a dog fight at the end. And it was really fun to follow along. So congratulations on that. How have you been approaching, Team White, first pick, What's been different for you this year in prep?
Having the first pick, winning the match, all that. So, personally, a huge monkey off my back to beat Dom. It's a long time coming. It's not even just matches. It's been when we played 1v1 at the Cup, haven't had his number. But huge for me to win that. Crazy we talked about, like the no tying of holes. There was no pushes for any hole, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I think Dom would attest, it just was a back and forth, especially, going down at the beginning and then those last 2 holes when I was up 2, I knew, I really got to put my foot on the gas, but he played great those last 2 holes, so it was awesome.
And this was the first year we went to a playoff, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We actually had a playoff.
We were on hole 16, so it was exactly what he said. Like, he battled back on 5 straight holes. I was down 2.
Yeah.
There was 2 holes to go. Joe reminds me at that point, hey, you could still tie. And then we played 17, or on the tee box at 17, I said, what happens if we tie? And then we all kind of joked, and we're like, we don't know what to do. And then we said, well, let's talk about it after this hole.
Yeah.
And then I won 17, and then we were like, oh, okay. If we do tie, what are we going to do? And then we just were like, hey, we'll go talk to the pro shop.
What did the pro shop say? This is the
DADDL
Cup match.
I wish anyone, Carmine was the only one that got to experience this, but I walk into the pro shop, and I go, hey, man, is a young guy that I know a little bit. I go, this is going to sound crazy, but we do this annual Ryder Cup event. It's 20 guys. This is our 10th year. I said it's called the DADDL Cup.
Don't know if you've heard about it.
Don't know if you've heard about it.
I was
Is he on the live stream?
our Instagram account. And everything. I said, but me and the other captain usually play a match for the first pick. He was like, oh, cool. At this point, he's smiling. I was like, we just played that match and we're tied. I said, is there any way we could go play another hole? And sure enough, he was like, it was 350, and he was like, yeah, you got an opening here at 420.
Perfect.
But,
that's awesome.
And quick decision for us to be like, well, we don't want it to come down to 1 hole, so we do best of 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were sitting on the, that was in the bar, we were having a drink, saying, is it 1 hole, is it 3 holes?
Such a cool story to just add to the tradition of the DADDL Cup and mystique. We got a match, it's good back and forth, playoff hole, and now here we are on draft night determining who's playing for Team White, who's playing for Team Black. Is Team White going to take the trophy back? Is Team Black going to defend it? I say we jump right into it. Announce Nooch is now on the clock for Team White and get this baby under the way. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Cool.
So, Carmen, as you're making that pick,
Yes.
who did you talk with the most? I know Lou is really big into strategy. Did you talk with him a lot?
Me and Lou have not talked. I think he would have said that nothing matters or whatever his line is.
I think he has a point.
You know what? If we continue on with this, it's true.
It's true.
No, I'll just put my pick. I'll put my pick in.
Awesome. With the first pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Year 10, the first player selected, Mr. Chris Level. All right, so this is interesting. I was curious what Carm was going to do. We know Chris is always picked pretty much first. His competitiveness, he shows up at the Cup. Going again here first, now on the other side. So, what's it feel like being drafted first, but on the opposing side?
I demand a trade. No. It's interesting. So the last time I was on Carmen's team, I believe was 2001. And every year after that, basically I've been on Dom's team every year for the last 10 years. Or 9 years, I should say. So it's different. But it also brings some excitement, right? Everyone knows how competitive Dom and I are. We're a very good captain, co-captain match. And we've had success over the years. And I think when Carmen won the match, I received some texts from the guys, and I could tell they were excited about, oh man, this brings a different element, because they know both the captains are strong captains, but I think as a co-captain, I bring something special to the table. At least I think I do. So Yeah, I think it just brings a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what we do. I'm excited to chat with Carmen because he just told me recently what was going to happen. So we've talked a little bit, but it's just brings a different element. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about where your game's at. Looking at your stats here, looking at your scores, a little bit all over. I don't think you've golfed as much as you have in the past, not been able to prepare as much.
No.
Still ready to show up, though, as a number one pick and execute.
Yeah, so as you're looking at the screen there, last year going into the Cup, I had, some 80s in there, I believe. And this year was high 80s to low 90s to mid 90s. It was just a little weird for me. Last year, as I mentioned earlier, later in the year, so I had all of August to kind of prepare for it. This year, I've done a little bit more scrambles, but I have X Golf across the street. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what I'm going to do. But compared to previous years, and I try and tell myself this, and I think everyone feels the same way, that first day could get so uptight, especially in that scramble. If you look at my scramble, the first day scramble record for me, I'm either tied or I'm not. I don't win that match. However, everything after that is pretty good for me, and a lot of that's because after the scramble, I'm like, fuck this, drinks, music, we're just here to play. I'm excited to play with my friends. So hopefully I'll go into the scramble this year with that attitude and not have to wait 9 holes to do it.
Yeah, it's almost more physical than it is. It is mental than it is physical.
Yeah.
And that scramble, you're all amped up, and then once that gets suppressed a little bit, you get into a little bit of the groove.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got the first pick underway. That means Dom, Team Black, you are on the clock for pick number 2.
Do you want to change that screen behind you at all, or is it?
We don't like the slide. Why?
Is that Chris's picture?
All right.
I'm ready if you are.
With the second pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, the second player selected is John Zampini.
Wow, Zampini. Pew, pew, pew.
All right, so we got Zampini here. Obviously, I think the lowest handicap member of the DADDL Cup. One of the top players every year. Good position going here second. Dom, tell us a little bit about the pick and what you think about Chris going first to the other team and then how it came back to Zam.
Yeah, so I think Carmen made the right decision. I mean, Chris has been number one in my power rankings for, all through last year and through this summer. So I think he made the right pick. It is what it is. You got to move on. Zampini is, I'm a big fan of Zampini. I drafted him in years past. I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. One of the lowest handicaps, one of the best golfers. Very good golf IQ too. I played with Zampini on day 2 last year, and I saw him hit shots that nobody else can hit. Hitting a 4-iron out of the woods through a window that's 2 foot by 2 foot. That's just an amazing shot. So that's the guy that I picked, and I'm hoping he and I can repeat what he did last year.
Love it. Yep, Zam's a baller, and you can pair him with a lot of people. So that versatility is nice. So we got the first two draft picks off the board. Push it back to Nooch, Team White, for pick number 3.
Oh, I wonder who he's going to go with. Let's just talk about it, right?
Before you guys get into that,
Yeah.
I have been texting with Zampini kind of on the side. He is very looking forward to this year's Cup. He made it a point to say how excited he is about this year's Cup. So.
What was it that any other year, different than any other year?
I don't know. I think it was, I asked him, I said, is it the fact that you just got your skull stomped in, or however he phrased it, as being a sacrificial lamb? But
Yeah.
he said he's really excited for it. So I know
Love to
you're
hear
getting
that.
somebody that's psyched up.
So as you said, interesting pick here. Paul's Carmen's dude. Plays golf 3 times a day.
The last 2 years, Paul's record is not good. So that was a conversation we had. So I'm excited to see where he goes. Sorry, Paul. I'm trying to motivate you here.
And with the third pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Paul Charnello, selected by Team White. Carmen?
Yes.
Seemed like a no-brainer. No question in your mind? Or was there a little bit of back and forth?
There was some back and forth for sure. Like Chris said, last couple years, but like what scoring wise, whatnot, but just like the type of player he is, how much he plays, I think also is a really good IQ in a different way. Zampini's the dude that also, well, he's the best teacher that you're with. I think Paul, plays the most, understands the game really, really well. I also think that grabbing him in the second round where I've done the first round in previous years is a good like value pick for me instead of the first pick. So I really think it's a good advantage at this round to take him.
Was there any doubt going in your mind when he shot that 86 and had a struggling round at Trumbull? Was he playing with his handicap, or what was the word there?
No. Paul only plays golf to win and to be good. So I did get some input from Angelo after the round because they played together. And towards the end, Angelo's never beat him. Angelo beat him that day.
Crazy.
And he said, congratulations to Angelo, but he said, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to hit balls on the range until my hands bleed. So I also took that into account where I'm like, oh, this dude wants to play good, like no matter what. So that kind of, if anything, I think he has motivation from that. And we've seen the low scores before. We know it's possible. I'm big on that too, where it's like you see people struggle, but if you know that they can go low and you've seen them go low, you trust if they could do that.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that deviation is something you have to keep in mind. I can imagine as captains, it makes it hard. But you get so far very consistent players at the top. Chris going first, Zampini second, now Paul third. Back over to Dom, Team Black with the fourth pick in this year's draft. And I know I'm going to start losing track of what pick we're on. So
I got you.
I get a minute for this pick.
Yeah.
I have not talked to Paul. I do not know his excitement level coming in, but I'm sure that it's
hates golf.
I'm sure.
Does not like golf.
So this pick's interesting. I mean,
there's
four guys that that are typically picked, could be picked here. Unless he goes with a different strategy.
Yeah, I think knowing Dom, knowing teams of the past, chemistry wise, I think to me it's a pretty easy selection, but you never know.
No.
Chief Vibe Officer, what do you think?
There's a lot of different directions we can go here. This is where we get into the meat and potatoes of the draft. Right? This is where it's going to get dicey because there's the top three, top four maybe are chalk here, but this is where things can start to get interesting.
Absolutely agree. This is where it gets fun. There it is with the fourth pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft. Dominic Schneider selects Sam Adams. All right, that's kind of what I was thinking there, looking at Chris's board. Dom going with that best player available. Were you between anyone else and Sam, or was it Sam all the way at that position?
Yeah, I think you guys said it best. Like the Chris and Zampini off the board, I think everybody could have saw that from with the first two picks. And then once you get down to this round and the next round, I think that's where those guys are kind of up in the air. I mean, Sam could play with Paul, and Zampini could play with Paul, and Chris could play with Paul. I mean, all four of those guys have played each other in years past. Right. So I think Sam's coming into this year in the right spot. Like, he hasn't golfed as much, and if you look at Sam's previous years, and if you've talked to him, he'll be the first person to tell you, like, the less he golfs, the better he does. So if you look at, he's not going to come into a DADDL Cup with 46 rounds. Yeah. He's going to come in with, a single digit. So I like where he's at, and I think he'll be able to compete at that level.
I think it's an interesting piece for some of the players. Some of the players, they need to play more, get in their rhothem. But other players, they don't want to get too many swing thoughts. They want to just go out there, execute, and that's definitely what Sam represents. And I know, when was it when he was like a record scoring round and he had to leave? Does anyone remember?
Yeah.
So it is posted on the Grin, I think, as a 17-hole round. But he was with, was it me, you?
I was not with him.
So he's with, were you in it?
No.
Anyways,
I
and
couldn't go.
Petey was with me, and Sam. I mean, so those two were both playing really good golf. I mean, but I think Sam walked off on 17 with 60. We'll have to check the grant, but it was like a 67 or something.
Oh my.
So it was. I looked at this the other day because I was like, well, if it counted as 17, like how does that really affect his handicap? Thinking his handicap should go up, and maybe I don't know if you looked into it as well, but basically, if you finish 14 holes, at least 14 holes, excuse me, the handicap, whatever, the GH, what is it called?
The GHIN.
Yeah, they will then average out your finishing holes and count it towards your handicap. So
Interesting.
he may have only played 16 or 17, but I believe they gave him pars on the last hole or two. So then it's still, and there's like another calculation too. So basically it didn't affect, it shouldn't have gone up or down, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Nice.
We were just talking about that earlier because when we played Kinsale for the member guest, remember one hole was closed?
Oh yeah.
So we played 17. My score automatically got posted because I'm in the club or whatever, but it got posted as a 17-hole score. So the
Okay.
grid figures it out.
Yeah.
All right, that means we're moving on to the 5th pick. But before we do that, Chris, why don't you pull up that board? Let's see who else is up there because I'm interested to have a little chat here with Joey and Chris about what could happen here next. Because again, this is like the meat and potatoes here. You start getting into some players, decent golfers, the tiers start dropping a little bit, but like I said before, some deviants. You don't really know what you're going to get. You might have a good player, but not 100% sure they can keep that, scoring consistent.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts here about
So-
coming up next in the draft?
I think what's interesting about this draft, because we have basically almost 10 years now, we have 9 years of what people have done in the Cup, as well as their personal scores, what you see on the grant throughout the year. And there are some guys, several guys, who outplay their handicap in the Cup. So my thought is, man, does somebody not reach, but like, is that a pretty big advantage, or do you kind of stay consistent with the lower handicaps and move your way on? So I'm interested in seeing what happens.
And there's also an expectation setting too. If you're one of those higher handicap players and you get drafted higher, you're now expected a little bit more. So how does one handle that pressure?
Right.
Joe, what are your thoughts going into the meat of this draft here in the middle?
I'm very curious to see what happens. This is going to be entertaining to watch it unfold, and I think we're in for a ride.
Awesome. Carmen, you're on the clock with pick number 5. Pick is in.
You put the number on the pick so he doesn't forget.
Oh, okay. Thank you. With the 5th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team White selects Pat.
Pat Beebe.
There we go. So Carmen, coming in with Pat, probably one of the higher tier players in this group. Is that what you went with as far as selection goes, or what were you, any debates here with this player?
Not really, to be honest. I thought that this is how like kind of the picks would go between me and Dom. Like Dom said, having the advantage of the first pick, you kind of know where you're going, so you could start to plan it out. The dude's a gamer. I mean, he's on a lot of winning teams. He does really well. Shit doesn't affect him. Like even even like shit talking to. He's just a very like obviously mellow dude. So like, he's been somebody like when I don't have him, like fuck, I want Pat like on my team. So, and this is the spot to take him like right around that 3rd round. So it's I have tough decisions. This is an easy one for me.
Now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing Pat, Aleko, Lou, all really good golfers that I think are an interesting spot here. Why Pat over a Lou or an Aleko?
I mean, for Aleko, maybe like history at the Cup, like Pat's been dominant at the Cup for a lot of years. Like he has a really good record, like total. With Lou, I think it's close, but I just felt a little bit more comfortable with Pat here in round 3.
Got it.
Pat's one of those guys, sorry to cut you off. It's similar to Sam, where those guys played high school golf. They played their whole lives. And Pat, I think, Pat mentioned this a few years ago, because I was like, man, like, you haven't really played that much this year, yet you're scoring in the low 80s. Like, how does that happen? And he goes, well, you play basketball, and if you haven't played for 2 months, you're still going to go out and shoot well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I consider, Sam, Pat, Aleko kind of like in that category where they played when they were young. Zappini obviously too. It's kind of comes second nature to them in a way. They know how to play.
Yep, and you got to take that into account for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Leads us next to the 6th pick. Dom, Team Black is on the clock. Theo, what do you think, bud?
We have future 2020 or no 2020 20 what 40 some Theo Fisher sitting with us here.
Don't say the year.
I know.
That's the goal. That's the
I
goal.
was talking to Joe's twins the other night when you guys were over, and I was like holding, I don't know which one it was, the revolver, and Nico was right there, and I was like, hey man, when Nico's in high school, or when Nico's a senior in high school, you'll be, and I started doing the math, and in my mind I thought I was like, oh, they're going to be in high school together.
Yeah.
I was like, you'll be in 5th grade. I'm like, oh, it'll still be cool.
That's nuts.
I think Dante was in 5th grade when I was
Yeah.
my video game
Yeah.
show.
Oh, that's great. All right, it moves on to the 6th pick. With the 6th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team Black Captain Dom selects Aleko Frangopoulos, my brother-in-law. All right, you've been texting me. What's Aleko doing? Where's the scores? Hasn't been able to golf much, but again, one of those players that knows what he's doing. Good golfer, lower handicap, right there with Pat. Talk to me about your decision here with Aleko.
Yeah, so I've known Aleko was always a good golfer. Last year was his first year in the Cup, and with that in mind, I was hesitant to bring him high in the power rankings. So I just kind of like, before the draft, me and Chris were talking last year, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to get out of him.
Yeah.
I know he's a great Saturday afternoon golfer, but
Yeah.
like, is he going to handle the pressure of the Cup? Sure enough, he gets drafted by Carmen, and he showed up last year. Like he's a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who didn't know Aleko
Yeah.
that were like walked away from that weekend like, dude, that guy's a good time. He's funny. Like he gets along with everybody, so he's easy to pair people with, and he played really good golf. So he kind of proved himself to me last year.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah, I played against Aleko. Joe and I did.
Oh, yeah.
Against Aleko and Angelo, and it was a really good match. I mean, Aleko, he's a good golfer. Playing from the whites too. I think Thornapple kind of resembles the lake a little bit more than the hill. Obviously, he plays there quite a bit, but
I think this group, especially like the top draft picks that we're seeing here, like Aleko, the Pat, the Sam, Zampini, what they bring to your team is a golf IQ that maybe some of us higher handicap guys don't think through. I remember playing, even with Aleko, I think it was just during one-on-ones, I forget, we were riding together, and my partner was struggling off the tee on a par 5. I hit a great drive, and I was going to try and play the hero shot and get onto the green. He's like, dude, just hit like a 180 club, what you're comfortable. Like, things that those types of golfers can bring to a partner are an important piece of the game and strategizing and making sure that you're just playing the right shot. So having these, let's call them high golf IQ guys to pair up with other players is clutch.
Yeah. We're
Yes.
This is our, if anybody's seen Kill Tony, this is the...
yeah. Angelo, get on the screen here.
Get on the screen, dude.
Stand right
Hey,
here.
what's up, man?
It's Angelo.
Hey, what's up?
Maybe future.
anything?
I'm good.
Give me one of these.
Handle is good.
Maybe a future DADDL Cup player. Who knows?
We gotta make a list of the future DADDL. So can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
So
When
we
you're-
were at my man Dante got married this summer.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, Tay. Fun time.
And, we're at Dante's wedding, and one of the cousins, Nick Danello, who I've known like a little bit. Like I see him occasionally when Chris or Dante would have like a tailgate or whatever. So I maybe seen him like, let's say 10 times my whole life. He comes up to me and he goes, hey, how do I get into the DADDL Cup? I was like, what? He goes, dude, I watched your guys' Instagram. Chris and Dante tell me about it. He goes, I want in. What do I got to do? And I was like, all right, well, like, you got a handicap. How much golf do you play? So you go, oh, I got a handicap. I play this many rounds. He goes, you tell me the day. And you have to know Nick. He's a very high energy guy.
I want to play. Here's my resume.
And it was just funny. He's a great guy, and I would definitely put him on the list of future players.
You know, each year before, as it gets a little bit closer to the Cup, you know, luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had anyone drop out. But previous years, we've had guys, unfortunately, drop out, you know, a few weeks ahead of time. So I made sure to reach out to some possible prospects to see if they would be able to fill in. He was one of them because of that.
Yeah.
And we've asked him in the past, too. But he was really pissed. He's like, damn it, I have so-and-so. He's like, but next year I'm in.
Is there?
So we're going to call that the Tommy Jeans rule.
Yeah.
Because that one year we didn't have a sub, we had Tommy Jeans plays.
That's an epic story. Is there ever going to be consideration, and I don't know, to make it 24 people? Can we do that?
Yeah, so, well.
And I'm just curious.
Yeah, we all have to talk about this, but I had a thought today, or this week, and I was like, the only thing that has kept us, there's been two things that have kept us from expanding, because I feel like we've talked about that a lot. One was, well, I don't have enough beds to sleep at, everybody. But then I thought, forget that. If we got to get hotel rooms, we get hotel rooms or whatever it is. Like, don't make the sleeping arrangements the driver of the decision.
You know, I was gonna say Angela and I aren't giving up our spare bedroom.
You got two spare bedrooms.
No, we're not.
I want a camera on Dante. Dante, get in there.
No, I'm good in here.
You guys got to see the production going on back here.
I'll be Jamie from
Joe Rogan.
PCD,
Jamie, get on the screen.
Pull that up.
we just bought that property across the street, and PCD's already talked about turning it into like a bunker.
Dude, get some cots. Get some cots.
But I think the other thing that kept us from it was like, wow, if we get 24, it's going to be harder for 24 guys to commit than it is 20. But now you look at all the people that are interested in it, like Nick, and you know, I got all these coworkers asking me about the Cup. I mean,
Porter.
we've all probably got at least.
Anthony Porter, yeah.
Anthony Porter, I think it's big enough now, and I know that might sound like arrogant, but it's big enough now that enough people want to come.
100%.
We don't have to.
I think like your first point shouldn't hold it back, because like when I talked to Porter about it, and he goes, "Oh, if that's the issue, I'll sleep on a floor." Like, so like that I think is out. You know what I mean? You know,
people could share a bed again.
I think that the second point is a good point, because if you get into the 24, those four guys are who you typically would be the, you know, your reserves that you're going to call in case somebody drops out. So your next 2 or 3 guys are now at 25, 26, 27 in case one of those 24 drop off. But you know.
So what I'm hearing is we need to think of a way to create an actual qualifier throughout the preseason to see if we actually qualify to get into the Cup, regardless of status.
That's a good idea. we went as crazy last year as creating a application process. Like we had to fill out an application.
Yeah.
Oh, that means
We'll have to expand the draft to multiple days then.
I'm sure the wives would love that.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yeah.
All right, what pick are we on, Carmen? You got to write these numbers down.
Oh,
That
my
was
bad.
6.
7, my bad.
All right, so we're on pick 7, Team White Captain with the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft. The 7th pick goes to Lou.
Well, it's the
Lou.
big show.
42. 32? 42. All right. So we were talking about Lou. He came up in conversation a little bit earlier. You seem to have not talked to him at all. So what made you pick Lou here at this spot?
So I got to play against Lou on the final day, and it was a great match. Dante and Lou against me and Joel, and Lou struggled in the 1v1 last year at the Cup, and he's a dude that, like, even after that, he balled out on the 3rd day. He played so great, and it's probably the extra fucking sandwich, dude.
All right, so we make the turn in the 1v1 on day 1.
Soaking wet.
Raining, yeah, it was terrible out there. And he looks at me and he just starts smiling as he's eating something. I'm like, what are you smiling about? He goes, good luck finding your lunch, Carmen.
To the guy organizing the food, he fucking steals it. Here's the thing about me and
now
Lou.
he's on your team.
And now he's on my team. And Lou's one of those, like, we talked about the new blood thing. And, like, there's been years past, like, it's somebody that I want on my team. He just always, he's the guy that he won't let a bad round affect him later. I think he's
pumpkin.
Yeah, and there's pumpkin that also influenced where he goes. But I do think like in the nitty gritty details, I think the Alecko, Pat, and Lou are like together. So I think that's also like one of those picks where it's like, all right, take Lou. Fell to me in a way, but I don't want to say fell to me, but was quick for me to say him. Yep.
I like the way the teams are shaping up. Definitely some switching of sides. You can see the strategies taking effect. And then we kind of get down now to this next tier of golfers again, which I think it gets a little more tough in this area of who's going to go who can you expect to play above, what can you expect out of these golfers?
I think this is where the Cup is won or lost. I think when you look at previous years of teams who have won and who have lost, and that's not against anyone. I'm not saying, the top guys are always consistent, but you always have guys, again, I mentioned this earlier, who play up above their handicap, especially at this course. So I'm really looking forward to these middle rounds and the late rounds too. But
Joe, any thoughts?
Yeah, it gets meatier and potato-ier here.
Come on, man. Is that all you got?
That's all I got right now.
meteor and potato.
That brings us to pick number 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Pick number 8. Years past, he went Coop. I know you've been up there, Jim, Dante. Or do you go for some of these guys who, again, might be a higher
And you
handicap?
got Corey back. You got Corey back in the
Corey's
draft,
back.
and he's been golfing a lot.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting shit that
Joel
happens here.
was picked here last year. I mean, he's plays the course every week.
Corey, little weight off the shoulders.
A lot of weight.
So
Are we live? Love you, Corey.
I'm laughing because I got 2 texts. One, my dad must have watched and heard about the barn, and he already said, he goes, I'm putting more beds in.
All right, 24 people next year.
He's
Start
supportive
playing.
of his player. And then my mom texted me and said, Joel's here listening, and he's hoping he gets picked soon.
Oh, the pressure's on.
So,
I hope I get picked. That's the way I like it. Pick me.
no, we love you, Joel.
Oh, darn.
Joel had a good when we honored him as the DADDL Cup.
He wanted
Good
to
speech. Good speech.
He came in with a suit jacket, a
Yeah.
fun suit jacket, and he had a really good speech. And honestly, I think that brought him back in.
Yeah. And knows the course, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. You play with him, you can get a read, you know exactly where to hit it.
And has a real handicap.
Yeah,
Has
his
a real
handicap
handicap
is
this year.
accurate this year. Guys, please make sure you use the proper drink.
All right, the pick is in with the 8th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft. Team Black selects producer
Wow.
Dante
Wow. Tayson.
Tayson is selected with the 8th pick. I know this twosome have a good vibe. Dom, what went into picking Dante here at 8?
So it's it's a spot where Dante's gotten drafted before. He's usually right in the what I call like the top tier of the double-digit handicaps. Dante usually plays well at the Cup. Regardless of what you see, he might not play as much golf as a lot of us throughout the summer, but he shows up at the Cup. And that's kind of what my strategy has been with these last few picks, is getting guys that I know have a high ceiling. Regardless of what I see on the grid throughout the summer, I know Dante can hit shots. It's hit him against me.
I've seen him.
On my team.
Silky smooth swing.
Yeah, and plus, I was between a lot of people right here. There was about 4 names on my list. What I see him doing today in the background with all the cameras and the sound and the production, I'm like, dude, if he can handle this, he can handle it all.
So your power rankings were adjusted just
I give a slight bonus just today watching this.
Oh, that's great.
Just for a little bit.
Tay, you want to say anything back there?
I'll say the one thing I will say is that I think Chris said that these picks are where the DADDL Cup is won, and we'll just leave it at that.
Not bad.
All right, you heard it from producer Tay
And
back
if-
there.
and if
Joe,
Luke-
you got anything you want to add to that pick?
Yeah, Dante's a vibes guy. I mean, he's never going to get too low. He's never going to get too high. He's just kind of even keel, and he just makes sure that his partner's playing well and in the right frame of mind.
That's right.
It's a great pick, solid team guy.
Tay, I would almost bet if I'm on the opposite team, we're going to play one-on-one again.
I welcome that.
I
Welcome the rematch. And
Unless we do it blind.
Unless we do it. Can you win this year?
no comment.
I love it.
All right. Great pick there at number 8. Now you're gonna I think you're gonna start seeing some more time in between picks, some more thinking. I don't know what these guys have ready as far as their stats and how they're doing an analysis, but Joe, we're looking at this next part of the draft. I'm gonna let Chris do some work here with Carmen.
Yep.
Little advantage there. Dom, you don't have the co-captain side by side yet.
You got me. Yeah, so
Okay.
So there's
Is there some text going on the side there?
Let me say one thing. So I knew after I lost the match that Chris was gonna get drafted.
Yeah.
People had texted me on the side and they said, "Hey, do you think he's really gonna pick Chris?" I go, "It's a 99% chance."
Yeah.
So for the last 3 weeks or so since the match, I've thought, okay, Chris is going number 1. And because I've had Chris in my corner in previous years, I've done this thing where I'm like, okay, now who would Chris pick? What would Chris want? You know what I mean? So I try and like reference what he and I would talk about in years past. I'm like, oh, he did say this one time.
See, and what makes that so interesting, and I know I'm a big proponent of the blind, but like now think about that, because you're gonna have to do your blind pairings and ranking with Chris on this side.
Yeah.
So do you have the advantage, or are you gonna overthink it? Like, where are you gonna put those pairings?
I know when we talked about the blind pairings,
Yeah.
I was against it at first,
Yeah.
but I'm very interested now to see how it goes. Like we might do it on day 1, and I'm completely in love with it. Well, I'm very
I
excited
liked it,
to try it out.
It's just going to be very interesting to see how you guys do out your pairings, and then with ranking them, flipping them, seeing who gets excited. That's going to be a new element. I think is going to bring some different competition to the cup. Look at this long deliberation.
There's a lot
here.
of deliberation.
There's a lot of
It's
deliberation.
going to be interesting to see what name comes out of this next pick.
I turned their mic up so I could hear them.
See, and that's what you have to waffle right there.
I knew Dom's always scheming to find an advantage, and he just found it.
The levels have a secret G that you can't.
What do you think they're deliberating here, Joe?
I think who they're going to pick next.
I know that. Jesus.
How much time do you guys allow between picks?
Yeah, can we get the timer on?
We're 2 minutes in.
That's why we drafted out today.
I think.
Might have to forfeit the pick here if we don't get it soon enough.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take 9 in. Can I take 9 in, 10?
You guys ready, or are you still talking? I'm running out of things to say here, so.
I'm ready.
Write the number on it too.
I did before.
Yeah, I've been doing that to it.
I did before.
All right. It looks like the pick is coming in after some long deliberation. Maybe a last minute change. Just second guessing. This is fun. This is fun.
Do we have an eraser?
This is-
Some white out?
That's the other thing with the blind pairings. Once you submit those names,
Yeah.
there's no change. There's no change.
And you know, I was researching it right when we were talking about it. So I immediately was like, hey, what are some strategies to use with blind pairings? And there's different ways to go about it. Like you could say, hey, stick with the the pairing that looks good on paper and just throw it out, your best one first and your last one last. Or there's like throw out 2 wild cards that they would never see coming together and use them first to really
I'm excited to see how that plays out with the scramble. It looks like we have a pick. The pick is coming in. Maybe. Ooh, man.
God. Oh, brother.
I feel bad for whoever this pick is.
I feel bad
Or who
for
it's
whoever
not.
the pick is not.
Yeah, who it was.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team White selects Dr. Colin Cooper. All right, guys, we got to get down to the nitty-gritty here. What was that deliberation all about?
Well, I can't talk about the deliberation too much, but I will say this: it was I actually think this is the meat and the potatoes. Personally, like this is where
Meatiest.
I think it's after round 4. Like I think there's these tiers. we said it earlier about like the Sams, Pat specifically about like hasn't played in a while. Like, does he remember? Like, it's high school to him, so like has played it. Cooper's played for a long time. I've played against Cooper a lot. He's annoying to be on the other team.
There's
Very.
yeah,
Because the dude's really good.
in a good way.
In a good way for him.
Right.
Very, very good golfer. Like, doesn't have a lot of bad swings. Always pieces it together. I just think also for his handicap, it's one of those players where, like, if Cooper was a 15 or 14, whatever, I might be like, what? 18, like, snag him for what he can be, what he's played at. Like, I looked last year, 1v1, like, he played against Angelo. Angelo shot like a 91. It's a good score for Angelo. Buzzsaw with Coop. Like, in the 80s, one of the best net scores from that day. I think second to Joel, tie with maybe Chris. So, love to have him and Pat, like, both high school golfers, know their stuff. Love this pick.
Great. I just pulled up Cooper's stats. Sorry, I was delayed on that. Yeah, looking 17, coming in at a 17 handicap this year. Is that right? Usually he's lower than that.
No.
18 at the hill.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So he's 18 this year.
And he's dangerous around the greens too. Like his chipping, it is. There's just daggers that he throws, and then he'll just turn around like the nice guy that he is and say sorry. And you just want to just enrage.
I just like how Coop grabs a piece of pizza basically every morning, and then he just
The doctor of the group. He grabs. Yeah.
And then falls asleep after.
There's so many sleeping pictures.
So I got another funny text. They're not funny, but good update. So Joel texted me a picture of the front yard, and the driving range looks sweet. So we're gonna have 3 different flags out there. I forget what the distances are, but blue, red, and yellow.
That's one of my favorite parts, honestly. All right, we're moving on.
Joel's trying to move up that
This is
draft
what,
board.
number 10?
10.
All right, with the 10th pick, Team Black Captain Dominic Schneider selects Jim Petrola, fuck Cooper, big miss. Oh! Fallen to Team Black. I don't know. I mean,
You want to talk about what the deliberation was?
yeah. So that was the big deliberation, and obviously you guys heard us talking, not heard us, but you saw us talking for a while, and that was really it. Jim's been playing basically every week. His scores, nine-hole scores have been 43, 44, like, really good scores, especially for your handicap. And you always show up at the Cup. So I'm bummed that you're not on Team White this year, but definitely a big pick, and I think this round is one that we could look at. So we'll see.
yeah, this is. I think what I can bring truthfully and where my game's at right now is just like the deviation. And I think playing against you the one time too, you're like, when is Jim gonna have his blow up hole? And it hasn't been happening a lot. I've controlled a lot more of just playing the game, let the game come to me, and not worry about what the other person's doing. So I'm feeling really good about everything that's happening in my game right now. The scores, I'm playing bogey golf, maybe occasionally, a double bogey, but I'm happy to be on Team Black here, defend the championship. Not going to play Dante one-on-one, so that's exciting. But looking forward to being on Team Black and protecting that cup.
Yeah. I mean, Jim, every year I have the same, experience with you. Like, you start off the year pretty low on my power rankings, just because you have a very busy life, and you don't get to golf as much, but you're very, critical on your own game. And it's usually you start out the year like, I suck at golf, I'm not going to golf, I might never play to the Cup. And then, as the summer leads on, I see you, come into, this zone where you're like, okay, I know what to do. I know how this works. I don't need to play 40 holes of golf.
Yeah.
I got to get my right swing thoughts and stay consistent, and I'll be fine. And then it shows up at the Cup. Year after year, you play your best golf at the Cup.
Yeah.
So,
And I think, talking about the high school players too, I think what they have figured out is just the mental part of the game. It's such a big piece of the Cup too, and being comfortable just with your own expectations, knowing what your game is, and just play the game, and you know what's in front of you. So cool. Love it. All right, let's transition off me, please. Let's go to the next.
So That was so now we're in the last 4 rounds. I think this is where it's the most unpredictable. Like I think those rounds 4 and 5 were unpredictable, but now it's almost like everybody's within 4 strokes of each other.
And there's I think everyone here at this tier, we've all seen them show up and play above their handicap at some level. We've seen Tim obviously put up a 75 recently. I played against Luke a bunch in the cup. Like that's a dangerous dude to have. It just gets really interesting down here. And then of course you have people like Barney and Joel who knows the course. It's just Angelo who plays a ton of golf. Like a lot of good golfers left. Marcus is still there. We know how he is prepping for the cup. So a lot of good guys here that can really show up, and excited for these next couple rounds. Theo, you want to announce the next pick? Cool. All right, with the number 11 pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team White selects the Duke. As we were just saying, dangerous player, higher handicap, can really get after it, has a crazy putting stroke, kind of gets in your head a little bit. Interesting picks. Been on Team Black a lot. So Team White, tell us what you guys were talking about here with Luke here at number 11.
Lots of points scored at the Cup, especially the last couple of years. Did a great job in the 1v1 too, like with, his scoring there. Dangerous player, like you said, with handicap. That was definitely one you're looking at against their handicap. Putting drives me a little nuts. But he is, there's a couple things that are brought up with him, but from playing, I played a lot with him the last couple years, like playing against him. Fairway finder, big time.
Nice.
So really good partner to have in the 2v2 matchups. Really good with a low handicap player, and also has been really good with Cooper, who's now on my team. So that a lot of things, came together for that pick.
From what you just said, I'm going to speak up for Luke and Cooper. Can we not have them as the same pairing?
Don't worry about our
We don't know.
Dom said that pairings are the pairings, and
The odds are the odds.
instead of
The odds are the
I said
odds.
from the jump, instead of the blind matchups, we should have been talking about pairings.
Blind pairings?
No, but no same parent. Like that should have been the conversation that wasn't had. So we're going to talk to our team. I am a big fan of mixing it up if we can, if it makes sense. So I agree with what you're saying.
It's just fun.
No, I agree for sure. I think with Luke, he's tied for third with most points scored the last 2 years. Same with Cooper. Those boys have played very well together, and they're able to play with other guys. And Luke matches up very well with a Paul, a Pat, a Lou, just because of some of his strengths that he mentioned, especially with his handicap. So,
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see Luke. He really climbed the draft board this year. I think last year and the year before, maybe kind of one of the last 2 or 3 picks, but this year to see him go where he is right now.
I'll tell you, man.
solid.
Like I said, I played against him a bunch, and I'm just sitting there. I was like, 21 fucking handicap my ass. And It's just like I'm battling with him.
I remember Angelo saying that a couple times. Like me and Angelo played Coop and Luke last year, and the opening scramble, and we tied them. We were like, that was a win. Like they were really good.
Yeah, they grinded
And
out.
both of them, like you were like, how the fuck are they their handicaps? So.
all right.
That
Interesting.
moves on to pick number 12.
So that was a really good pick. I think everything you guys said about Luke is spot on. I mean, he's a guy that hasn't been in the cup as long as we have, but it was like ever since he came in, he just fit. He was cool with everybody. His golf was good. I thought that was a really good pick.
Awesome. So, with the 12th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team Black selects Joey Mike. Joey Fisher!
Grower.
Welcome, buddy.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
you guys are on that side of the table. We're on this side of the table.
I don't like it.
All right, Joe. How are we feeling about the game? Hey, I know you got twins, 3 at home now. Haven't probably been able to golf as much.
Nope.
Being picked there. Let's hear how you're approaching the cup, and then Dom will come to you for your take on the pick.
I'm just excited to get back. I think I play pretty well there every year. I'm just excited to get back to it. Have not been able to get out this summer as frequently as I would have liked, for obvious reasons. But
very understandable.
and there was a lot of question as to whether or not we'd be playing the blue tees or the white tees. So any round that I did play, I was playing from the blues, and I was getting my my shit pushed. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy to be taken here. This is I don't know what to say. I'm kind of speechless. I've never been drafted this high, so it's nice.
I love it. I love it, Joey. Dom, what went into the pick here?
Yeah, I mean, Joe, again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but he's a guy that shows up at the Cup. He might go out in the summer and post some really bad scores, but when he gets up there at Chautauqua, things come together. You look at 2 years ago, you know, he was picked in the 8th round, and then he moved up to the 7th round last year, and then this year the 6th round. He's just on a very good progression, both with his game and how he's approaching the Cup. I think that's another funny storyline. Like, when we first started the DADDL Cup, you had that nickname of Joe in 4, right? Because he lost. He was one of the only guys that lost every single year. And now you're on, what, a 3-year win streak? So it's a complete turnaround.
It's awesome. And I played with you enough. I've had a good time playing with you, and there's nothing better than playing with Joe and having him on your team on the greens, and just having that consistent putter and that chipping around the short game is definitely something not to mess with. All right, we're going to be going into pick 13 here. We got Team White deliberating a little bit. Dom, while they're doing that, I don't know if you have your team pulled up, but how are you feeling about how your team's forming? Again, not with the first pick. Kind of on the defense, you said a little bit. How are you feeling the draft's going for you?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I mean, you know, when I look at some of the higher handicapper, I think it's almost even. Like, we've got, you know, Luke and Joe, 23 handicap, 24 handicap. So we're pretty much even at the high end. And then up at the top, we're pretty even too. I like the team. It's a lot of new guys, or some new and some old, I guess. At this point, we're probably half these guys were on my team last year, the other half weren't. But I'm excited for those new guys, too. I think I got, like, some of my core guys that I could. Obviously, I couldn't get Chris. I got a couple of those core guys back, and then I welcome new guys like you and Sam and Aleko. I'm excited about it.
I do like that team and how it's forming. I like how their team's forming, too. You know, it's I think that element of Carmen having the first pick and things shaking up a little bit adds a little bit more excitement, a change up like you mentioned. It's a good thing for the Cup. Happy to see how this is playing out.
I will say, it is weird coming into the draft and not knowing who my co-captain was going to be.
That's true.
There's not a lot of deliberation. There was only, like I said before, talking with Lauren, or like I would message like Google Gemini and be like, "Hey, I'm," and they don't know who I'm talking about. I'm like, "Hey, I got
Sounds
this guy
like
named
this guy."
Joe Fisher, and then this guy named Luke. You know, I want to draft it, and it was, you know, it was cool.
AI can only take you so far.
Yeah.
Tay, how are you feeling about how the draft's going this year?
I like how it's panning out, Jimmy Joe. I think, like kind of what Dom said, not to reiterate, but he didn't get his guy Chris this year, so he had to go a different path, a different way of thinking. Yeah. And I think he's handling it well so far. I hope. Have we talked to Z? Have we had any touchdown with Z tonight?
Zampini?
Yeah.
Yeah. He and I have been texting.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
I like that. I like that as a lead co-captain.
No, yeah, I would imagine so.
I mean,
depending, there still could be a co-captain out there. Who knows?
And a spoiler alert for everyone who gets drafted by my team. There's gonna be some thought about co-captain. I think co-captain carries a lot of stress. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of thinking.
You gotta lead. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, like Chris was like, you know, it's just a lot to deal with, and me as a captain and as a team manager, I'm not sure I want to put anyone else on my team through that. So me and my team are going to have a long conversation, and maybe there won't be a co-captain. I'm just, if it's for the betterment of the team, I might make that decision. But if I feel and we feel like there should be a co-captain, then of course. It's all about what's best for the team.
Team camaraderie. I think maybe a trip to Cedar Point before. So if we can bang that out real quick.
Can I just host you guys at my house? That's fine.
Spaghetti dinner on Tuesday night.
I like the little zig and zag. You know, it's like, hey, maybe you just go this way. You don't have to have the co-captain, but
I've just seen it, stress people out enough. It stresses me out.
it is.
I don't know if I want to share that.
I did it last year, and it is like because you want to carry your weight. You're not the captain, but you want to carry your weight, and you want to make sure that you're helping them make the right decision.
Right.
But like you might do something completely different than them, but they're captain.
So what's the threshold here of Team White taking way too long?
I don't know. But
minute.
lo and behold,
I
this
mean,
shouldn't
we're
surprise
well
anybody,
beyond
but
that.
I need to go to the bathroom. So
We're
bad.
well beyond.
Go ahead and sneak out. We're on pick 13.
John, what are your thoughts?
About where we're at in the draft right now?
Yeah.
We'll
think it
take
gets
a.
meatier.
This is a bathroom break. We're gonna go ahead and play the intro video while we wait for
Yeah.
Jimmy Joe to head.
Hello, friends. Over the rolling hills and historic waters of Chautauqua, a fierce battleground awaits. Two courses, the lake and the hill, stand ready to test the spirit, the strategy, and the steel of our competitors. 3 days of grueling Ryder Cup-style match play lie ahead. But before a single ball is teed up, the true tactical war begins. Tonight, battle lines are drawn. Welcome to the live draft of a tournament unlike any other.
So I really like this comment. Cooper said, "Team Black is definitely worried about the Luke and Coop dynasty."
Oh my goodness.
Splash Brothers 2.0, Luke the Duke. Zampini said, "Let's go, Joey." He's excited. They've been pairings multiple times in previous cups. That's a strong one.
I would like the chance to play with Zampini again. I do love playing with Zamp. Obviously, not because he's just a good golfer, but we just have such a good time playing.
Zamp's just a great
Great teammate.
Yeah. I played with Zamp at Heritage with Dom Silvestri and Anthony Porter. And a couple weeks later, those guys were like, "Hey, we need a fourth." I'm like, "What about Zampini?" They're like, "Absolutely."
Yeah,
like
bring him on.
And it was so funny. So Porter was not good out of the sand. And everyone's had this story with Zampini. And I go, "Well, perfect. Like, this is the guy to talk to." Because with one little tweak, my sand shots have been 99% way better. And he goes, "All right, get in the sand." So Porter gets in there and he tells him to open his club face up. Yeah. And he does it a little bit. And he goes, more. And Porter's like, "Are you serious? Like, this is crazy." And he goes, "Now draw a line there." He goes, "Now swing." And he swung and it was like within 3 feet of the cup. And I just started dying laughing. Because Porter was like, "Are you like kidding me right now? Like, this is all I needed to do."
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so we're back. Angelo, I do like the new rule, take a shot for any extra time that's added. So salute to that, but I think we were good to go.
Good to go. Back with pick number 13. The 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team White selects El Diablo, Barney Barn with the 13th pick. Bringing back, you got Chris and Barney, no surprise there. What went into this decision here? Barney with the 13th pick.
I mean, he speaks for himself. Typically.
God killer.
Super Bowl!
Right? Dude, that's a lot of vibes. I haven't had him in a while on my team. And like we get along really, really well. I love Barnhart. And he's a vibes dude. He's a vibes, not only a vibes pick, he pairs well with like anybody you put that dude with, he could play with and he also brings up the other person. Really good at the cup. Guys like it's funny. And I've said this to people that have asked about the cup. And they're like, what type of players? I'm like, you have low handicaps, high handicaps. The interesting thing about all three high handicappers is that they freaking ball out at the cup. Joe has balled out at the cup. Barnhart has, and so has Luke. So it was kind of a strategy in my mind. I'm like, I need one. I don't want him to have all three high handicappers because they could ball out and play better than their handicaps. I'm like, it'd be great to have two. So when I had an opportunity to get two, whichever one was there was coming. So yeah.
And Barney can ball out with 3 total clubs.
Yeah, he likes that hybrid.
Hybrid.
Almost hitting his own
Hybrid
foot.
pitching wedge.
His gold pitching wedge, because he has 2 pitching wedges.
Okay, exactly. 3 clubs.
And maybe, yeah.
They're used in different situations.
I think, it's interesting about the cup. Like, you could look at scores all day, but you have to understand who you have and what their strengths are. And maybe Barnhart's strength isn't the driver, but the hybrid is. You can get 200 yards off that thing.
Or 130.
Or 130. There he is. True. He can pitch well, and his short game's great. I mean, that's why we call him the God Killer, El Diablo, the Devil, because he's made several long putts and crucial times in the cup. So.
And Zampini is on the opposing team, so will we see God Killer 2.0?
I do have a question though. I think we saw in the group chat that Barney and Luke were going to drive to DADDL together. Is that correct?
I think that's going to happen, yeah.
Wait,
I think Luke asked if someone could pick him up from
I think it's
Cleveland.
All the way home. He's gonna take him.
Okay. I was going to say, what's the over/under on shirts worn in the car?
Negative.
How soon until the tarps are on?
Yeah.
That brings us to our 14th pick, and it looks like Team Black Captain has it ready to roll.
This is really cool. We're getting a nice mashup. A lot of new guys.
With the 14th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team Black Captain selects Marcus Romeo. All right, we got Mark. He's locked in. I've been talking to him. He's ready to compete. Don, what went into picking Marcus here?
Yeah,
That was a weird.
No, Mark's funny, right? We talk to him all the time, and usually he gets serious about golf right before the cup, right? Like he doesn't like to play in April and May, and maybe a little bit in June. But then when he gets locked in, it may be a month before.
Yeah.
When he gets locked in, he's all in.
Yeah.
And, he and I text every day, and he was one of the people that I was texting because I didn't have Chris to text leading into the cup. And it wasn't so much like strategy or who to pick, it was more about just him.
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling? Tell me about last year. Like, I never got to play with him.
Oh, yeah.
On paper, he played pretty well. And I was like, so tell me, how did it go? What worked? What's working now? And I think he's a very lethal weapon, and he's one of those guys that 18 handicap, but he goes out and has the ability to shoot an 84.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So he has that high ceiling.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got it, and you got to take that. You got to take those strokes with the possibility that they're going to play well above that. I think Mark's a great asset to have in that department for sure. And some of the strategy stuff. He does have that kind of mind to help think through some of the strategy pieces, so that's important as well. Joe, anything you want to add to the Marcus pick?
That's a great pick. I'm excited for that pick.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have Shark on our team.
I think it's interesting how the draft's playing out here. The first 4 rounds were pretty much right in line with my power rankings, or whatever. And now as we get down, I'm seeing a little bit of oh, this guy's going sooner. I think like having two guys with the 23-24 handicap, which would, they got Luke and Barnhart. I think that's going to have a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
I think those were very, very smart picks. And that's the last compliment.
Yeah.
Too many compliments. That was good.
I'm pulling up some of Mark's. Yeah, like you said, July 26th this year, 84. Average score 94.5 over his last 20 rounds. So again, I think at that handicap and this part in the draft, you want the people who don't deviate much. You don't want them going from 105 to 90. Like if you can get that consistent band, like we see in Marcus's stats. Jamie, I don't know if you can pull it up on the screen there, but
Sure can.
you can just see, it's pretty consistent. We know what you're gonna get out of Marcus. But the risk, there's not a risk really. It's just what's the upside, what's the ceiling. So I like playing into that.
And now we're on the clock.
And now we are back to
Joe, where are we at on the meats and potatoes?
full on carbs or what?
We had a couple of big bites in the recent rounds here, so I think there's still plenty of meat left on that bone, as Matt likes to say. We got enough paper to get through the draft?
I just realized I won't have one for the last pick. So, the menu this year is going to be, I don't know, Carmen sent out the menu, but we took a step up this year since it's year 10. We're doing, the normal Andrachos, pizza and wings. We're doing the barbecue buffet. Nucci's going to cook a welcome dinner. And then Saturday we're doing prime rib.
Yeah.
We're going to step up for year 10.
That was kind of fun thinking what we can do for year 10, and it was like, well, we want to stay at that. Like, let's not do like a nice dinner because that's mostly just hanging at DADDL was like the most fun part of it. So it's awesome we took that step up. I'm excited for it. The meals are always great. What did we decide on the breakfast sandwiches? You're an adult, take care of yourself. Is that what was?
Yeah.
Is that what was?
Yes, I went with the Marcus.
I love that option.
Saves us a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Says figure it out.
Also with year 10, I kind of switched the swag up a little bit. We went with some new logos. We got more of a true to the Ryder Cup logo this year. We got a 10th anniversary logo. So, a couple of different
The hats are sweet. I don't know how well you guys can see them or see them on the table, but the hats are pretty sweet. So, Joey always showing up big in the swag department. What else is there for swag? Is it just the hats?
No. We got T-shirts for everybody this year. We've got crew necks. We got quarter zips.
Oh, damn.
We went with, of course, there's the logo ball every year, and then I also went with can koozies. We did the slim cans last year, and it didn't really work out with all the canned cocktails that we get from Southern Tier because they don't fit. But
Big sponsor of the production here, Southern Tier, by the way.
we went with the regular size canned koozies this year, and I think everybody's gonna like it. I hope everybody likes it.
I love it. The swag is always a fun part to lay out when people start, coming in. They go to their rooms, they get the swag. Always fun. Thanks, Joe, for all the work there. Ooh, with the 15th pick in the 2026, I want to say NFL draft. DADDL CUP Draft. Team White Captain Carmine Catullo selects back again this year, Corey Gruel.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Corey. Happy to have you. Really, really excited to have Corey back. You too, Theo?
Theo likes to pick. He was clapping.
Yeah.
All right, Carm. I know Corey's been playing a lot of golf with Paul. Tell me a little bit about what you guys were talking about with this pick.
I think it helps a lot that he's been playing a ton recently. Deciding between a couple players, obviously, that's why we're taking time. I think a lot of other picks are like very like concrete. Like you're like, all right, I knew I'd probably be picking here, so you've already thought about it. This is one where you're like, oh man, you're between a couple guys. But we were looking at how he would play with other people on the team, and then how much he's been playing recently. So you have a lot to like go off of that, and he's had some really good scores, I think, for his handicap. So and it's awesome to have him back in general, like separate from the pick.
Yeah.
Like he loves the cup, loves DADDL, so super pumped to have him back.
Yeah, and again, just looking at his scores, like you said, in the 90s there, plays a lot with Paul, so, obviously there's a possible pairing to have. They're familiar with each other. What is he coming in handicap-wise this year for the Cup?
He is coming in at
17 on the lake, 18 at the hill.
Very good. Yeah, so again, another person playing a lot of golf, higher handicap, kind of that consistent that we were just talking about, but the ceiling is there to play. And I know, I've golfed with Corey enough times, like he can throw some daggers too into the green on his approach shot. So good pick there at 16?
Yep. No, 50.
Oh, okay, Theo, I made a mistake.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Team Black is not on the clock. They got their pick in.
I hope I read what name that.
You want to look at it? No take backsies.
Let's start with that. Oh, yeah.
All right, with the 16th pick in the draft, Team Black Captain selects Tim Kidd. All right, Timmy, Mr. 75. That influenced the pick at all? What went into this pick here, Dom?
Yeah, so Tim's a guy that hasn't been in the Cup for very long, but again, as soon as he came in, he vibes and just jives with everybody. Like, he's easy to pair with people. He loves to have a good time. And then also, like you mentioned, that 75. I mean, he shot a 75 this summer. I don't know who else in the Cup has shot a 75.
Yeah.
Like, Tim, and then he went out and shot 100 and some, but it is what it is. Like, he's got a high ceiling, So I'm hoping we can, harness whatever happened that day, and it repeats itself at the Cup.
I love it. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny looking at him score, seeing this. But look, before that, 95, 97, 94, 87, 75, 108. Okay, that's going to happen for an 18, 19 handicap guy. But like you said, that ceiling of, wait, it's in him. He can do a 75. Tay, did you want to add anything to that? Is that what you're, okay.
Nope, just trying to pick up the whispers.
Got it. Joe, anything you want to add about the Tim pick? Adding him to Team Black. What are your thoughts?
Again, Dom said it all. Tim's a vibes guy. He's very easy to pair with people. You can put him with somebody high handicap. You can put him with a low handicap. He's not too high, not too low. Even keel, solid. Just sound good team guy.
Great pick. Is it raining?
It is raining.
Look at the weather forecast while we're on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What does the weather look like?
I got a question. Who is left and how
There's
many?
two guys left.
Okay, and who are they?
They are
I was just seeing them.
Angelo Catullo, your bunkmate, and Joel Walsh, the resident of Chicago.
Does Carmen go against the family?
No, not a chance.
There's Mr. Chautauqua, and then there's my brother Angelo.
Fredo. Never go against the family. With the 17th pick in the 2026 DADDL Cup Draft, Team White Captain selects Sheriff Joel.
Wow.
Fredo.
You hear the rain perfectly right now.
All right, let's dive into this one. And how are you going to explain this to your brother?
not gonna be able to. It's tough.
It hurts.
It's tough.
I guess I didn't need this piece.
I'm wondering who
we
you're
talked
gonna
a
pick.
ton before he knew, like from the last couple years where he was kind of at the Cup. I mean, he's been playing really, really good golf. So that was really, really tough. I mean,
He's gonna make you pay for it.
Joel's probably Joel plays a league at Chautauqua. Very familiar with the course. What's he saying?
He said, okay. Not even the full okay-ay, just okay.
Yeah.
Chip meets shoulder is what he said.
Oh.
Chip meets shoulder. I like that.
Who said that?
Angelo.
Yeah. So I mean, it was very tough. Very tough selection, but
What it came down to was just the handicaps that we have, and pairings, and what makes sense that way. I mean, if the handicap difference would have been quite a bit if we went with Angelo and just looking at pairings and who we can team Joel up with. We felt confident with that.
So playing a little bit of numbers game.
A little numbers game too, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
100%.
All right, that leaves Angelo Catullo as the last pick, heading over to Team Black, playing against his brother. Dom, how do you feel about Angelo?
I love it. Honestly, I've never had the chance to have Angelo on my team. And every year I've watched him get better and better and better. And, you know, it's intimidating his first year probably coming into the Cup with a bunch of guys that he barely knows, they're all older and, you know, whatever. But it was like that lasted 1 year, and then the very next year he was just like, hey, I belong here. And, you know, you talk about scores this summer. I mean, Angelo beat Paul earlier in the year. Angelo shot at, what was it, 84, 85 or something like that? Like, he shows that he has a high ceiling too. And as a 19 handicap, if we can harness whatever happened again that day at the Cup, you know, can I talk about my team a little bit?
Yeah, I was just going to say, with all the picks, I would love for the captains to take a look at their team, if you don't mind running through them again, and then just giving us your final parting thoughts, and then we'll be on our way to everyone being at DADDL Wednesday and kicking this thing off. Dom, what are your thoughts on your team? Give us the rundown.
Yeah, so I drafted Zampini, who I had last year, Sam, new guy, Leka, new guy, Dante I had last year, Jim, new guy, Joe, had him last year, Marcus, new guy, Tim, new guy, Angelo, new guy. So a lot of new guys that I didn't have last year. But I think these are guys that I'm really happy with the team. I think I've got a few guys on this team that have something to prove. I also think there were some guys that were maybe a little mismanaged last year. There's something I was thinking about as I was going through the draft, and this is kind of how I saw it playing out. And I looked at, okay, maybe this person didn't play so well last year, but I use the analogy of like the most lethal gun in the world, right? It's only as useful and as lethal as the person pulling the trigger. So without somebody that can handle and manage that person or that gun, they're useless if you don't know how to manage them. And I feel like that might have happened to some of these guys last year.
The depth at which we go to at the DADDL Cup Draft.
I think what's different, though, is somebody is helping the guy managing the gun on Team White. So we know how to do it over here, too.
It's starting early.
It's getting thick in here. We got two hands on this barrel.
Team White, let's read off your team and where you guys stand and how you're feeling leading into the Cup.
Oh, you want me to read them off?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Carmen's so sad about Angelo.
I feel really bad. I just texted him. It's a bummer.
I think what's good, though, like, Dante and I have been on the same team. I obviously want to play with him as much as possible. We actually haven't played together, which stinks. 1 year we will. But Angelo has to be pumped to be on Team Black. Like, just, it's a different, Dom's a good captain. Like, I don't think he's all that upset about it, honestly.
No text back yet, but
He texted me back.
yeah, not surprised.
Awesome.
I have Chris, Paul, Pat, Lou, Cooper, Luke, Barnhart, Corey, and Joel. I feel great. There was a lot of guys that I was focused on getting before the draft that I got. There are definitely a couple that Dom got that I was also looking at. So, I mean, that's obviously going to happen. I mean, there's, you want a ton of different players. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. I love the mix-up. It's very different this year. And, yeah, I'm super pumped.
What are we looking at with the overall handicap differential here?
160.
Go ahead.
162 for Team White, 158 for Team Black.
It doesn't matter.
Is that right?
Around there,
Cool.
yeah.
With that, that's all we got for you tonight. I would love if we could get Theo's final thoughts on the draft.
Hey, Theo.
Theo, what do you think, bud? Team Black or Team White? Okay, that's it.
He likes
We'll see
toys.
you guys, everyone, Wednesday. Looking forward to a great 2026, the 10th anniversary of the DADDL Cup. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks to our sponsors of the show, because we have so many of them. Grint, Zinn, Garage Beer, Body Armor, Switcher Studio. Thank you guys
Lenovo.
for all your support.
What's your vapes LLC?
Yeah, go check out
Go Black.
Awesome.
Hello, friends. Over the rolling hills and historic waters of Chautauqua, a fierce battleground awaits. 2 courses, the lake and the hill, stand ready to test the spirit, the strategy, and the steel of our competitors. 3 days of grueling Ryder Cup-style match play lie ahead. But before a single ball is teed up, the true tactical war begins. Tonight, battle lines are drawn. Welcome to the live draft of a tournament unlike any other.